By falling up the next day, Orr was waking up super fine wars. He rubbed the sleep off his eyes and looked at Orr. She was already completely dressed. Whoa, what's up with that, Orr? Well, I kinda wanna go meet my parents again and show them that you are okay and you're alive. Oh, are you sure that's okay? I mean, well, we're dating for one. For two, you technically have a stepson and a future stepdaughter-in-law, and you're pregnant. Or could help with a faceplant. Relax, Super Final Wars. So remember, my parents trust you. Yeah, but nothing. You're overreacting again. Stop overreacting. How many times gotta tell you to stop overreacting? You're right. I have got to stop overreacting. But still, I'm still kind of cautious, because it's been, like, years since last time I saw them. Like, the last time I saw them was when my parents were still alive. And it was back then when we were living in the same village before we ended up, well, actually living in the same house together. Let alone sharing a bed together. Don't even get me started about that. So come on, please. You said that we could. I did, and I'll do anything for you. Alright, just give me like 5 or 10 minutes to wake up. Alright, I'll be waiting in the living room. About 5 or 10 minutes later, Sir Farmers woke up and he got dressed. They packed up a few supplies along the way. Sir Farmers transformed to his dragon form and gave Orr a ride. It took them long, about a couple of hours later, to arrive. Apparently, flying there was a lot more easier, instead of taking the Hollow Earth. Plus, Super Farmers took a few shortcuts, instead of taking the longer day, which would have possibly taken them a month or two. That was fast. Well, like I said before, I took a few shortcuts. Immediately, the entire village was high alert about seeing the dragon, but they saw that Orr, or was just Orr, but then they saw someone familiar. Once when they got a better look at the other person walking right next to Orr, they realized that's Super Fun Wars. They all approached him and immediately felt a little uncomfortable, but he was holding Orr's hand to comfort him. Everyone was so thrilled to see that Sir Flowers was back. But Orr told them that he was not comfortable in explaining that to everyone, and plus they were looking for our parents. Immediately, everyone left them alone. Sir Flowers and Orr continued on their way until Sir Flowers stopped to look at a particular house. Orr turned around and she realized what he was looking at. It was his old home. It still lied there. Sir Flowers looked back at Orr. She shook her head, telling him to go on ahead. He took a few steps towards the house and entered. He remembered that this house was just so full of life. He remembered this place quite well. He remembered the living room. He'll always bring out his Godzilla and dinosaur toys to play with, and his father or mother will always watch him. He went to every single room and just brought up some good memories. So far as I didn't know if it was a good idea to come here or not. He then saw something that looked like it didn't got burned at all. He picked it up and his eyes were widened. It was his family photo. but there was something else right next to it. It was his family book. I was surprised this thing ain't burned. He looked at his family photo and saw how young he was. Saw that his mom and dad were sitting right next to him, smiling at the camera. This made Sir Farmer shed tears. He hugged the family photo tightly. I miss them so much. He looked at his family book and decided to put it into his backpack. Both that and the family photo. He looked at the front door and saw that Orr was waiting for him. He smiled. Thanks for bringing me here. Orr couldn't help but to smile back. You're welcome. I know this is a little uncomfortable, but this is where we used to grow up at, huh? Yeah. This very house. It's almost as if it was like the whole fire thing was just a big nightmare. But now I'm just accepting reality. Come on. Sir Farmer took Orr's hand and they left the house. Sir Farmer stopped Orr. Hold on. We need to do one more thing real quick. Sir Farmer clenched his hand tightly. Then within an instant he punched his old house down and it instantly fell down into pieces. Orr was confused, but then she realized why. There were still some bad memories, and Sir Farmer did not want to get reminded about that. But in a way, he kind of killed the bad memories. There, now I don't have to be reminded why I was alone all that time. And what happened to my mother. He then caught up to Orr and took her hand again. It took them long to arrive at her house. She knocked at the door, and her parents were at the front door waiting. Well, open the front door. They were happy to see Orr again, but they were very shocked to see Sir Farmer. He nervously waved at them. Hi. It's, nice to see you again. Orr's parents came towards him and hugged him tightly. He was confused at first, but then he ended up hearing them saying that they were sorry about what happened. He smiled. He hugged them back. Plus, the hug made him have good memories about when his parents always hugged him. He felt like he was being hugged by them again. About 50 minutes later, Orr explained everything. Her mom and dad were pretty shocked. So, let me get this straight. Super Final Wars was alive, but his father didn't make it. And he met a girl by the name of Allison who was a werewolf hunter. And he had a son, and he has a son by the name of Max. And he has a girlfriend by the name of Cinder, who used to work for Salem. And the guy who was responsible for setting the house on fire and killing Super Final Wars' dad is Mahamuda Prime. But him and Max managed to track him down and kill him, because Mahamuda Prime was also responsible in killing Allison. And you're pregnant, Orr? That's the whole story, Mom. Dad, that's the whole story. But you said that there's 2 other bad guys who have like a very long history with Super Final Wars. Is that correct? Super Final Wars stood quiet, but then he replied, yeah, David and Lucas, my arch enemies. Apparently I also discovered that they were also responsible on killing off half of my family. Killing off half of my species. And that explained why my dad and my mom decided to live their lives as humans. But how did Muda Prime found out? I have no idea. But for now, I only got 2 enemies to worry about. Or Max has been looking at you as if you're his mom. You could say I am his stepmom now. And don't worry, Dad, I'm not married. We're not married yet. We're not married. Oh no, you don't have to act like that, or I completely trust Super Final Wars with my life. Wait, you do? You don't have anything against me? No, not at all. I've known you ever since you were basically a little kid. And you protected her. You protected my daughter. You were there for her. You supported her. You never left her side. So I trust you to take care of her. And I am completely okay with you two having a kid. Sir Farmer's turned his head to look at Aura, but she was busy being hugged by her mom. Who was very happy that she was going to become a grandmother. Mom, technically you already are a grandmother, because I'm sort of counting Max as my own son. Oh, yeah, right. Aura's dad couldn't have to look at him for a little bit. You really do love my daughter, do you? Of course I do. I mean, heck, I declare her as my soulmate. And I don't care what people say, or hey, if they're gonna be like, oh yeah, you're not gonna last forever, I will frickin' kill them. They say that crap near me and my girl. If anyone intends to lay their hands on my girl, I will make them regret it. Or his mom and dad couldn't have to laugh. There's a good old Super Final Wars we knew. Thanks. So, what are you guys going to be doing here? Well, we're actually going to be spending the weekend. Well, we were spending the weekend near our area, but... Well, I told Super Final Wars that I basically buried his mom at my place. Because of, well, my depression, and that I thought that I was never going to see him again. So, you came to spend the weekend here? Yeah. Or, we could spend longer than the weekend. Seriously, Super Final Wars? Yeah. After all, I deserve to catch up about what's happening in my old village. Alright then. But are your friends gonna be happy about that? Gonna be happy about that? Don't worry, honey, I'll just text them. You know, it's quite shocking that you guys are going step by step so fast. I'm trying my best to give Aura some time. I'm trying my best to go slow on her, but everything's just happening so fast, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. You and me both, Super Final Wars, you and me both. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I mean, we're going step by step so fast. So, Super Final Wars, how do you feel that you're going to become a future father-in-law? I will admit, I was scared at first, but your daughter comforted for me and told me that Max is not my daughter. But if he was, though, I would have been extremely overprotective. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about that. He is extremely overprotective of anyone. He's overprotective of his entire team. He's so scared that he doesn't even want them to go too far away from the base. Oh my god, he's that overprotective? Jesus.